Wonderful. So sitting with my guides and communicating with my guides, the main concern for my guides right now is about you guys on the planet right now. What they're picking up on is many of you are going for a bit of a roller coaster ride, right? First of all, babe's going to, okay, thank you. Thank you, they're coming really quick. Okay, lovely. Okay, always do meditation before I start, and then they come and join me, which is brilliant. But the main thing I've been hearing is roller coaster ride on the planet right now, and how everything is being brought to the surface. They've been warning, I hate to use that word, warning how this was going to happen over the last couple of months, going back over this previous year, that we were heading into this turbulent times, lots of things change going on, and how the energy on the planet is going to be affected greatly by many things that are happening astrologically as well, astrologically as well, and by human emotions and feelings. So as we know, with what's going on in the planets and the divine and the universe coming in around us, we're going to feel the emotions and waves of energy from each of the planets. And also, they also said you're also going to find it from each and every one of you as well. So just for you to be aware that each and every one of you, how you are feeling as an individual person, whatever you're feeling, you're going to be radiating out those emotions. So the rest of the planet, those around you, are going to be feeling that. It's like like animals, animals can pick up if you're fearful of them, or they sense something that's happening. If there's a tsunami coming, they're going to feel that as well. Thank you. My guides are saying just to be in check with how you're feeling right now, your emotions and feelings that are rising to the surface. And boy, they're going to be rising to the surface. They're going to be rising to the surface big time right now because of all the planets and what's going on around the world. Thank you. And also, obviously, we know since we've been hit by this virus the last year and a half or whatever, and the big changes that's been happening on the planet as well. So what you will find is whatever rocks your boat, they show me like a little wooden boat here, whatever rocks your boat, wherever you might have insecurities going on in your life, it's going to be affecting you now. It's going to be sort of brought to the surface. Now, it's supposed to be brought to the surface. The reason for it to be brought to the surface is so that your soul, you as a human being, can actually work upon that. So many of you are going to have things coming up for you which may have been from something from your past. Maybe it's past life, or maybe it's your past in your childhood, will be rising to the surface. So thank you. I'll give you an example. Nothing's confidential in my life. They just said bring that example in. Okay, fine. So say for instance, I was doing some work recently in another country, and in that part of the world where I was working, some issues came up for me in the sense of taking me back to my childhood. And I'd say in parts of my childhood, we didn't have a lot of money. My mum was a single parent, going through a really quite a rocky road. And there was sometimes we went to bed as children that we were hungry, we had no food, and our stomach hurt. And she didn't know how to make ends meet, didn't know how to pay for the bills. We had a slot meter where you'd put 50p in for gas or 50p in for electricity, and literally it used to be like, what do we do? Are we warm, or do we watch TV, or do we have the lights? It was either or. No such thing as central heating. And not that I'm old, I'm only 53, but it was central heating was invented at that time, but we didn't have central heating. And I remember the windows used to rattle. Now it's funny, so traveling in another country recently, something come up for me about poverty, and I had a couple of clients that were really struggling with money financially, and they came to see me, and it sort of brought up a lot of things for me. So we would call that being triggered by the past to some degree of my childhood. And at my age now, I'm comfortable, and I haven't had the issue of lack of food in the recent years, hence the weight that I am wearing right now. There is more of me, shall we say, right now, but it jogged me back to the old fear and feelings of my past. It sort of resurfaced up something from my past about my fear of security and money and finances. So it sort of reared its head. And so for bringing that up, Spirit have been saying to me that it needed to come up so that I could sort of clear it, so I could look at the situation. Okay, thank you. Because of other things that are going on in my life right now. So I needed to look at, address what I'd put away as a child, like the skeleton in the cupboard. I didn't want to be that child. I wanted, in a way, as an adult, I was so far away from that childhood experience because it hurt, it was very painful. Why would I want to go and visit that childhood experience again? So by now, as an adult, having my own children, in a way, I sort of buried it away, thinking it's gone, I've worked upon it, but I hadn't really. So being away, working away as a psychic medium in this country, a lot of my old emotions as a child, feeling of hunger, feeling of being homeless at some point in my teens, running away, or everything that's happened during my childhood, I'd sort of pushed it to one side, thinking I'd dealt with it, I'd addressed it. But literally by going back to this experience, which I didn't know, I mean, who would have thought, but working in this other country, going through my experience, it sort of brought it all up, and I realised I hadn't dealt with everything that was there, or I dealt with whatever I could deal with on a surface level to some degree, but now I needed to go deeper to explore what was going on. And that is what's going on for lots of people on the planet right now. Those who are aware, consciously aware of their environment, noticing that there are wounds that have been brought to the surface, consciously aware of those wounds, and then addressing it. So that wound was actually part of my childhood. I felt very vulnerable, felt I had no money, lack of security, very fearful, and it actually came back up again for me, as I say, last week or the week before, where I was working away in another country, also because of it was being addressed by having clients sitting in front of me to sort of bring it up for me. So sort of mirroring, sort of rippling, that ricocheting of my old past wounds, emotions that I carry in my energy field. So we all carry that in our energy fields, of that fingerprint of who you are, your story, your life story of who you are, what's happened throughout your whole life, and your body holds it. So until it's ready for your soul to address the issue, it sort of stays there within your soul. It stays there within your energy field. So, many, if I look at this, if I think of many of us are carrying that as emotional baggage. You really are. When I went for a physical massage, I was there, I had a masseur and she was working my body, and I didn't have to tell her anything about my lifestyle. I laid there and she was feeling and massaging me, and she could feel the tension in my shoulders, and I said, yes, I've had tension recently. She worked through my body, massaging and releasing, and she was sort of saying how you sort of crystallize, there was sort of stuff, energy sort of trapped, in my physical self. And it was amazing, by her massaging my body and working through my body, and I had reflexology when I was there, and lymphatic drainage as well. She could read exactly what's been going on over the last couple of years in my body. So my physical self was actually holding on to all this emotion, and she could feel it in a massage. And for me also, having that massage, I took time out for myself, but it also released a lot. I ended up finding myself, I was crying because I was realising that my body was always, holding on to stuff. So there's a lot that's been going on, obviously for me, but a lot that's been going on for lots of my clients that come to see me. And the reason for bringing this up is that Spirit are now just prompting me into say, at this moment on the planet, some of us are going to be finding that we may be triggered by individual people in our life. We may be triggered by different organisations, governmental or otherwise, that are triggering stuff in us, so making us feel frustrated, or we're holding on to something. And our body is demonstrating that to us. So where, I had the stiff neck and my shoulders were aching, my body was demonstrating, but I wasn't listening hard enough. And my soul was trying to guide me in a different direction. But there's so many layers of us that we reveal one, and we work on that, and we let go of it, and we put it to one side, and we're like, yeah, we've dealt with that. And then later on, something else might come up, and we might strip back another layer of ourselves, and it needs to be addressed at a deeper level. So at the moment, what they're saying is, over the next couple of weeks, I'm still keep saying it, November, December, possibly January, February, there's a bit of a change, but November, December, they're really saying, and moving this week and up to lunar eclipse next week, they're really saying that the energy we have right now, I believe it's Scorpion energy and a couple of other planets that are going on right now, that are really, it's about lifting up, releasing, letting go those wounds. And with those wounds, it's really about looking at what keeps coming up for you. I mean, I just said this, look at the pattern, repeating pattern, what keeps coming up for you. So I also have this thing that's going on for me personally. I know a few other people as well, and a couple of my clients have been brought, not wanting to be controlled or managed by others, whether that's governmental, whether that's our family, it's organisations, they just said. So organisations can be your family organisation, can be also relationships, it can be if you've got your own business, it can be if you're working for an organisation, it can be governmental, it can be the rules and regulations of a country, they just said. So it depends on what's going on for you, where you are based at, but there will be a lot about pushing boundaries and how far someone will push you, whether it's a country, an organisation, a business, a lover, a partner, family member. It's very much what's going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be like pushing against you, pushing to see how far they can take you, or how okay, thank you, they just showed me like a small tree and having a stake next to it to fix it, to keep it supported during a storm. Thank you. So what they're saying is, have a look what's coming up for you, see what you could see, what could be going on for you, what's being shown to you over the last couple of weeks, what is your body feeling, where are the emotions being held, is there something that emotionally something's getting to you, is there maybe, okay, thank you, they said maybe your voice doesn't feel as if it's being heard, who is not listening to your voice, is it a family member, is it a partner, you know, is it the organisation you work for? The reason this is happening right now is just so that your soul, you can look at it, you can see what's going on for you, you can sort of feel into it, what's happening, what's this showing me, why is it occurring, is this occurring again, why is it occurring again? And I always recommend to all my clients to write it down, whatever comes up for you, go write it down, whatever comes up, whether you've just haven't got pen and paper and you've just got your phone, whatever comes up for you. And you feel that, gosh, you know, that person didn't need to talk to me that way, or who do they think they are telling me that I can't do this or I can't do that, or, you know, going back to work, that I don't want to go into the office, I want to work from home, how dare they, we've done this for the last year and a half, it suited them, and then now they're telling me that it doesn't work for them. Well, that's rubbish, it does work for them in a sense as an organisation. It could be that, it could be there's many things that are happening for individuals, it could be about relationships. A lot of people are coming to me about relationships are breaking down, and it's literally breaking down just because they need to break down, they need to change. You have changed, things have happened for you, so when they break down, it's just literally you breaking down to break through into the new person that you are, or the changes that you want in your life. So there's a lot going on, and it's sort of escalating at the moment, it's really highlighting, it's really reinforced at the moment, it's sort of this great magnitude, it's this, okay, thank you, they just said each and every one of you, if you think of your energy fields around you, they're saying like, they just give me ball bearings, you're all sort of bouncing off each other energy wise, you're sort of bouncing off the walls, bouncing off in different ways. Okay, thank you. They also said what will happen is that people who don't think or feel the same way as you do, that will be highlighted even more. So you might have family members that really just don't believe the way you believe in things, you know, whether it's you believe in the divine, the universe, angels, whether you believe that that's the right bread for you, I eat white bread or brown bread because of, or person being a vegetarian or vegan because of, there's going to be a lot of that going on, that's going to be coming up to the surface because of the change. There's going to be like little groups that are going to be breaking up between them and going off into different directions. So you might get the vegans there, vegetarians, the meat eaters there, whatever it is, it makes no difference. You're going to get a lot of that at the moment. In the next couple of weeks, they're sort of saying. And the reason for that is because, again, they bring back to my voice, is that people's voices need to be heard. So it may be that, you know, through childhood that you were always the quiet one, or you never mentioned anything, or you put up with things in your family. You know, you were the scapegoat in your family. You were the one that did everything for members of your family. That might be brought up again right now for you, and it might be that you've had enough. You're not going to do it anymore. You've changed. You've like, why should I be the one that's taking, you know, everything for everybody? Why should I be one that does all the house cleaning, or I don't know, wash the car, or take the dog for a walk? The simple little things like that, but they can cause a lot of issues and stuff. So that will be coming up. So and when I say this is not just, if you think individual people on the planet, I don't know, we've got billions of people on the planet. However the billions of people on the planet are feeling, the different groups, different sections that they're breaking off into different, you know, pro-vaccine, pro-not vaccine, whatever happens, you've got that group of different individuals that are going to be radiating out their energy and how they're feeling. So the planet feels a little bit jittery at the moment, where people are vibrating in different energy streams. So it's like little tiny ball bearings, just, you know, the way they're feeling. And you're going to find a lot of people who do feel the same will come together like a giant magnet. They'll be there together and harmonizing, which is a good thing, because what I'm hearing from spirit is they're saying to me, this is what you need on the planet right now. You really do need to join forces with the like-minded people who understand you, people who understand where you're coming from, understanding your beliefs, and think very similar to you. This is important at this time. And they're sort of saying, if you imagine those who come together, the one that you think very similar together, it helps vibrate that frequency on the planet. So they just said, can you imagine if there's a harmonizing with on the planet, that everyone started to think and feel very similar, it would lift up your energy. Okay, thank you. Now they just sort of said this, that their concern is how individuals are feeling at this time, because there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of emotional conflict on the planet, and they're saying that they can feel it. They can feel this feeling of fear, frustration, feeling scared, feeling anxious, a whole combination of feelings right now. Yes, there is also some fun, and people are having fun too, but they're sort of saying when you are actually experiencing the feeling, you need to actually process that feeling. You need to actually go into that feeling. You have to absorb it within your body. You have to allow it to process, to work through your body. Okay, thank you. I have mentioned this to a couple of others, but to bring it really to the heart, so that your heart is processing, your heart's feeling the information. They said there is this, I think, a technique that I've been using recently. Because I'm human, I have a lot of things going on in my own personal life too, and I have a lot of clients and they have issues going on for them as well. And one of the practices or techniques or skills, what they've been mentioned, is that recently for myself, to whether I'm sitting or laying, and I've been doing this several times during the day recently, that I've been laying, well, mainly laying to be honest, that when I lay, I'm just bringing in all the emotions into my body. How am I feeling? I'm checking in with my body. How am I feeling? And I'm practicing that. And if you're listening right now, try this now, wherever you are. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you just to place your hands just on your chest. And I want you just to check in with just how you're feeling, just placing your hands on your heart. And by placing your hands on your heart and closing your eyes, you're just taking a moment, you're just pausing. And not many of us pause, so you're just pausing. You're just asking, how am I feeling? Just, if your mind feels busy, just imagine you're bringing your mind down into the heart center. Just be within the heart. Just be there now. And how am I feeling? Feeling your heart underneath your hands, maybe the heartbeat, maybe your lungs just gently rising on your chest, as you're just taking a moment just to be still, just pausing. And almost as if you can imagine you're bringing all the light into your chest, almost as if your energy field around you, it's like you're just bringing it in, like as if it's a giant handkerchief that you're rolling in, you're bringing into like a pocket, you just bring it into your heart. all the colours, the multiple colours of the rainbow, all the colours, purples, reds, greens, yellow, orange, and the white light, just bringing it all the way in, deeper and deeper, all the way into the heart centre, just allowing it to come in, just allowing it to sit within your heart centre. And as you're there again with your mind, dropping it back into your heart, almost as if it's like a cave where you've just brought yourself into that area, just allowing yourself to be still, being aware if there's any fidgeting or frustration or anything else that your body might be saying it's not wanting to be still. But just keep bringing it back to your heart, being in that space, like that cave, resting in that quiet space. And you're just observing your heart, you're just observing your emotions within your heart. You're just sitting there now, bringing it in. And when you're ready, gently, almost as if keeping your eyes closed still, that when you open your hands from your chest, like a flower that just gently opens and opens out, and your hands gently release in front of you. As you open up, you just allow almost like your energy filled white light coming out through your heart, all the way shooting out, like shining out into the universe, and allowing your white light to connect to the universe, and being part as one with the universe. Just allowing that white light radiating out through your chest, connecting, bridging, connecting to each and every one of you that's listening and feeling connected. When you're ready, just open your eyes. Just breathe into your heart centre. Nice deep breath in and release and let go. And this little technique, they've just been teaching me and just showing me this over the last couple of days. So that when I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed and I'm just finding that myself's in my thoughts and my mind is whizzing around, then I find it so difficult to focus on what's happening for me. I bring myself back to my heart centre and I just sit there or I lay there and I just stabilise and balance my energy, because that's what's going to be happening. Over the next couple of weeks, you might find that you may be a little bit feeling a little disrupted and feeling that trembling or anxiety or frustrating or whatever's going on for you, or feeling a little bit out of balance. But they're just saying there's just that a wound has been unpicked again, that it's opening up again, that the wound is just almost as if it's oozing out again. Just it's sort of as if you're losing energy out of an old wound, something that's been going on for so long. It could be going back all the way back to your childhood. It could be going back to a relationship, that something's been stimulated in a relationship, and that within that relationship it's bringing something up internally within you that may need looking at. Is there something you should free yourself from? Is there some voice that needs to be heard from that relationship? Is your voice needing to say something to the individual? Is it a friendship, family member? Is it work? Whatever it is that you may be holding on to it internally within your body, and now is the time for it to come out. It's now time for your voice to be heard, finding that warrior within your body, that strength. So whatever it is that's sitting there, it's time for that skeleton to come out of the cupboard. So you can see, they're just not talking about governmental and large organisations. They're talking about organisations. It could be your family. It could be how you organise your life. It could be anything that's going on for you individually right now. That's going to have a ripple effect to everyone around you, your friends, your family members, your work colleagues, your neighbours, the person in the shop down the road. If you're fed up and you're angry and, you know, they talk to you in a way that you feel they're condescending or they're frustrated and they take it out on you. This is happening throughout the whole world. This shortness, people being angry at each other and not really understanding why. or feeling frustrated. Not enough people working in retail or shop or in a cafe, and you go to order a coffee and it's like, why am I waiting so long? And that's tapping into something else that's going on internally within you, and to look at that. So over the next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot that's coming up for lots of people, and it's going to be about their voices needing to be heard, their voices to come out and to express what's going on for them. But also to take a moment in time just so that you can sit with something, so that you sit with whatever is going on for you, so that you can just gently use the exercise of just tapping into your own body to see what's going on. And be aware of that. Your body's holding on to something. Your body's holding on to energy. So through whether a massage or going for a walk or a run, whatever it is that you need right now, it's going to be very important to get that out of your system, to release whatever you're holding on to. You're all holding on to something. So their energy update for this week is very important. It's about to release, to let go of anything that's still holding you back, and to be mindful and watch where it is that energy is going, where your mind is at. When a situation arises, where is your mind at in that situation? What's happened for you? Why are you feeling that way? What's it triggering? And not to feel that you can't do this, that woe is me, why is this happening? Actually, it's a blessing why something is happening. It's a teaching. It's showing you how strong you are, how brave you are, and how much support you have around you. So very much at this moment, my guides are stepping forward to say, this is a time to reach out to those who are very similar, like-minded to you, who can help you at this time, and to use simple exercises that will help you.